for your incentive programs. It is good for you to think about this 360-degree look at your program, so that what you can do is figure out if you've allocated enough budget to the communication program. Or if, let's say, it's a cash spiff. Is a $10 spiff going to do it? Or does it need to be a $25 spiff? Or maybe it needs to be a $75 spiff. We have to talk through whether we've got the budget allocated to really make this thing happen on an ongoing basis and get the return of your investment that you're looking for. That promotional strategy. Once again, you can have a promotional strategy and you can have a promotional strategy with some power. So how are we going to approach that? Can we really supercharge it? And the awards. Are they ho-hum awards, lackluster awards? Are they in proportion to the effort involved to earn them? You know, for someone to work 6 months to a year to win a $100 award may not be the most exciting thing to them. So all these type of considerations come into play. And then engagement, which means more than just launch. You have launch and then you have engagement. And how will we reinforce in the field and in communication everything we're doing to get this program to rise above the noise? Because our goal at MTC is not to run a ho-hum program. Our goal is to blow the door off sales. At the same time as we're going to do that, we know you're concerned about getting maximum return on investment. So we're going to work with you very sensitively to control your total program costs. Another element for your program is to get maximum traction as rapidly as possible. For doing that, we have what we call fast start programs, quick start programs, accelerators. These things will electrify your program. Give them something to get off the dime quickly. Fact of the matter is, people get a program launch announcement and it sits on their desk. They may not open it for a week or for 2 weeks. How are we going to get them to open that envelope, read that email, look at that website? How are we going to do that? How are we going to get them to do it fast? Or is your program going to take 90 days to get traction? Some interesting considerations. We talked about the fact that we have great expertise in channel marketing. We have an understanding that every manufacturing or service organization is different. The way they go to market is different. The way they split up their channel is different. We happen to pick a channel chart here for the computer industry, but we could draw such a chart for any particular industry that we're involved in for the sake of this particular discussion. And as we look at this chart, if we're the manufacturer, we're asking ourselves questions. Each one of these channel segments as main channel segments have different characteristics, different sizes, different numbers of members, different buying process, different selling styles. And so as we design a program to fit into this channel environment, we're going to want to take a look at which of these channels we want to motivate. Now, just for the sake of argument, picking up a warehouse club and trying to motivate a warehouse club, well, I don't know if you've walked into a warehouse club lately, but if you can find a live body, good luck. You can't do it. You know, it's you and the merchandise, you the consumer and the merchandise. So incentive program, forget it. It's not happening. But on the other hand, in a VAR, we're all over incentive programs, and it makes perfect sense. But we need to ask those questions for every channel segment that you do business with so that you can custom design your program to the high-performing end. We've put together a grid here, and this is just a sample grid. This is a grid that could be used or modified in many different ways for a particular situation. But as you look at the title, the basic idea of this is to look at your goals as a combination of channel segment and product line segment. Because your product line budget is going to drive the budget, isn't it? Your product line sales are going to drive the budget. And your channel segment is going to drive issues like current market penetration and you know, many other different types of issues in terms of the style of the program and the concentration of the program. So what we've done here is we've assumed that we have several different product lines we're going to promote. They're not necessarily homogeneous. They may not look the same or feel the same. They may not be in all channels the same. So we're going to look at it product line by product line. We're going to see how much business we're doing today. We probably already know our current market share for that particular product line, and hopefully we know that by channel already. Then we're going to pick a desired market share that we're pointing at, translate that into a resultant dollar volume, and then we're going to say it's a combination of science and art to decide how much money to allocate to the program design, program funding at this point in time. I say science and art because it's easy to just say, well, if I'm getting, let me see if I want to look at this next slide here. I'm looking for a 4% market share increase, so I'm going to get $25 million worth of business. I might want to simply say, I only want to fund it based on my incremental dollars of revenue or profit, as the case may be. But we're trying to illustrate here there's many ways of looking at it, but here's a particular thought process where you've got that incremental revenue, you apply your manufacturing margin against the incremental revenue, yielding a forecast net profit increase due to the promotional program of $7.5 million in product line A. It seems reasonable that we might want to allocate $3 million to achieve a return of $7.5 million and migrate our market share to the desired level. However, as you go from product line to product line to product line, you may have to make adjustments to this clearly in such a way as you'd have to go back to the original slide and say, well, I have already got 40% market share here or 32 here, but I've only got 10% down here. So I may elect to spend a disproportional amount of investment to push my market share in a weak area. That's a choice you might make or not, but this is the thought process. Make sense? Excellent. One of the things we found to be particularly effective about this new debit card environment that we've offered is what we call the direct connect philosophy. You know, many incentive programs there's only a tenuous and sometimes ambiguous connection between performance and reward. And I would think we could draw a very easy correlation between the certainty of getting a reward at a performance level to the level of effort expended. For example, when you're at a trade show and you see that 10-foot fishbowl for business cards next to the car, they're going to give away a car, and you throw in your business card, what do you really believe is going to happen? Do you think anybody's going to give you that car? No, they just want leads, don't they? Same idea, right? So you can tell when a company has structured an incentive program in such a way to be hype. You can also tell when they've structured an incentive program in such a way as to directly reward performance. So the debit card creates an environment that is a one-to-one correlation between sales activity and reward. Sell, get paid. Sell, get paid. Sell, get paid. And also do it fast. And the more you can eliminate the time difference from the selling activity to the rewarding activity, what you've actually done is something very profound, and we'll talk about that in the debit card presentation, but it's very powerful in a nutshell. Immediate gratification. Sweepstakes have their place as well, but they're typically where you have large numbers of people you're trying to influence and a small budget to do it. So that's where you're going to pick a sweepstakes, typically. Good to give some thought to aligning your program, your internal salespeople, your channel salespeople. If there's distributors in the middle of all that, you might want to have the distributor salespeople, so you'd have